Hello, I want to introduce our new model coming up this year. This is gonna be the first model coming out in 2024. So this one is an Ayuthaya style noble sword. It's usually a sword that's given to like noble or like royalty, and they came in like different fitting blade style. And the more precious the fitting is, the finer the details, the pricier they are, the more high rank you usually are. And this came from like a normal steel fitting to like precious metal fittings to like gold cladded metal fittings and gold cladded scabbard. So this one we are going with our interpretation on the antiques, and we're going with like a standard like noble type that there usually is in the market. So the iconic feature on this thing is going to be the handle fitting. These are like a lotus design, like a lotus leaf, and I have an article about it on my page. I'm gonna put the link on the video, so you can go ahead and read it. Basically, the lotus design is embody like a cleanliness, white justice, and like goodness. So it's trying to represent like when the sword was given to noble, it's trying to represent like justice and reminded them of like working for the people kind of thing. So for the handle on this thing, it came in 13-inch handle. We can adjust this to 13 or 12 inch, or we're gonna break the balance we want it to be. So that's the option. You can go with 12-inch or 13-inch handle. And the handle itself is wood core and then rope wrap, and we put a natural lacquer on this thing. You can also go with an option of like a braided handle and then natural lacquer. That's gonna come in an option for you to choose a little bit extra. And next is the handle fittings. This thing we have two options for you to choose. This one is a nickel silver. So let me grab the fittings here. You can go with two style of fittings. It's gonna be nickel silver, and then there's gonna be bronze. Here. And you see my cat, right? So, and the next thing about this thing, we work on base of an antique, and there's a lot of antique that usually have different tang and variety, but we want our sword to build like a tang on this one, but still feel very nice in the hand. So we opt to go with a really long tang on this thing. The tang itself is like almost all the way at the end of the handle of the 13-inch handle. This gives this thing a really nice balance while still cut like hell. So this thing was supposed to be like a heavy cutter, and you can see the balance on this thing is like about 3 inches from the collar. And with a 24-inch blade and a 13-inch handle, you can grab it up here, or like up here. If you grab it up here, you're gonna have like a 9-inch plus sword. So it's gonna be like a 32-inch saber. Now you're gonna have like an arming sword at about like 28-inch. And if you grab it up here, you're gonna be using a sword that's about like 25-inch bladed. And where you want to grab it on this thing is where the collar is. So you see this ring, we call it like a marble collar. That's the term in Thai, but we're just gonna call it the ring collar. And this is where the grip indicator is. This is where you grab it with like a index finger. You grab it, you index it, and you can feel where you are on the handle. You can feel where you are in the handle. You can feel where you are on the handle. And next is the blade. We opt to go with our standard SK4 steel. This thing is gonna cut like everything like butter. And the way this one is designed is really standard Ayuthaya style bladed. It's gonna have a wider front, a narrower middle section, and a bit wider base section. This thing, since I've tested this for like a month now, this thing cut everything so nice. I'm probably gonna cut a heavier target better than our Burmese star model and a new Thai sword model that's coming up after this one. But the way this thing is supposed to be is a war sword given to like a noble and nobility, and this thing weighs at just 700 grams without scabbard, and still the balance is really close to the handle, so you can cut really well with it, and you can still like get like good balance with this thing. But if you want to really hit really hard, you just grab the end and just whack it out, and it's just gonna work like a normal saber. And there's gonna be a lot of questions why this thing is round handle, because that's the way it is, and a lot probably all the antique on this model that I've seen are round handle, so we can opt to go with the round handle on this thing, and there's gonna be no option for an oval handle on this thing, so that's gonna turn a lot of people off, I know, but we are making a model based on an antique, and we want to keep it stay true with the original. And next is the scabbard. So this one is we work with a craftsman who have worked for a royal Thai project, a lot of the royal project, and he has agreed to be the one assembling a sword for us and making like assembling the handle, assembling the blade, and making scabbard and scabbard fitting for us. So you gonna expect like a high quality fitting on this thing, and I'm gonna shake it for you. This thing, cracking it, and so you can hear a bit of the sound, right? But normally we shake for like rattling. You just shake it like this, and that's basically almost no sound. It just feel almost like a Japanese sword or really high-end sword with a really good scabbard fittings. And this thing comes in a production model. It's gonna come with 3 fitting on the scabbard. We can do a different pattern on this thing per your design. Something that we able to work, so we can discuss that when what you want on this design. But this one is my demo sword, and it's just gonna be mine for like a lot of people cutting, and I want this thing to be different. So the normal production model, this one gonna be like a standard shape, standard bell shape design, like a stupa. That's normally seen in like an old antique sword, and that's what we're gonna be opting to go with. And the scabbard finish on the production model is gonna come with 2 options. You can go with like a clear wood finish, and then we're gonna wax the finish off, so it's gonna give it's gonna show off the wood grain details. And you can opt to go with an upgrade, as in like a natural lacquer finish, a black natural lacquer finish like this one. It gives you offer more like a tactical look, but it's also like a standard finish that we usually see in like an antique sword. So back on the fittings, these are hand tool brass fitting made to fit each scabbard. So it's a brass fitting with a bronze collar ring on it, and it's gonna have a bronze end cap. Yeah, this thing is built really strong, so like you can actually like go in smash stuff with this thing, and it's gonna protect the scabbard really well. And brass and bronze. Yeah, the scabbard finish is made for each sword, and the way this thing goes is just like